In this video I've got a knotting already painted wood video update for you. My name's Stephen from Inexteriors Painters and Decorators, and you're watching Inexteriors TV. About 2 years ago I made this video about knotting painted wood. Now, so what that means is the wood's all been painted previously and the knots are showing through. Now, you're meant to knot it first, like when it's bare wood, we know that. But the next best thing you can do, or the only thing you can do after that, apart from sort of scraping it all back and sanding it and burning it, is taking it all back to bare wood, then knotting it. But we're not going to do that unless it's like a real resinous knot. If it's just showing the stain like it does in this video, then there's other ways we can deal with it. And in this video, what I did 2 years ago was I just got the knotting, so I just sanded the frame down and got the knotting solution and just give the knots a couple of knottings, then painted it. So if you want to watch that video, the video will pop up at the end of this video on an end screen. Like I said, you should treat the knots when the wood's bare. There's probably other methods of doing this, like putting Zinza BIN over the top instead of the knotting solution, because that's a shellac base, but I've never tried that. I've always just used the knotting solution, because one day, about 10 years ago, if the knots weren't treated from like before, all I knew I could do was just paint over it. And then one day I just got the knotting solution about 10 years ago and dabbed it on and painted it, and noticed that it worked. When I went back to the job about a year later, I noticed that it held the knots back, so I thought, oh right, it must work. So I've only known about the Zinza products the last 5 years, so I don't think I've ever sort of done this type of thing with the Zinza BIN, but I will do it to find out. I'm sure it probably will work. Now, here's a clip of what it looked like when I finished it 2 years ago. And here's a clip of what it looks like 2 years later. It's held back really well, and you can't see the knots, so it does work. And what I did was, look, if the knots are real resinous, like I said before, then you would have to like sort of scrape it back and, you know, then treat the knots. But when they're just staining like this does work. I'm not saying it's the right way, but it's the next best thing to do, and it holds the knots back. So thank you very much for watching, and take care.